If you think back to the first times you were playing a tabletop RPG, or you heard about a tabletop RPG and you started to be so excited about all the possibilities, all the characters you thought you might want to create, all the things that you might want to experience through play, like that excitement is amazing. The first couple of games that you play that are really good are some of the best experiences that you can have in gaming, in my opinion. But one of the problems that happen afterwards is that if you play for a long time, a lot of people will end up feeling less interested and less satisfied with the games that we play. And I think that there's a correlation between that dissatisfaction with the familiarity that we get with the game. So one of the things that happens when you're starting out with a game, you don't focus on the rules of the game. You focus on the experience of the narrative, the world of it, all the possibilities. But the more you play the game, the more you learn about the game, the more you become familiar with the rules, the more you get familiar with the classes, the powers, you stop to focus about the game in terms of the narrative, the world, the possibilities, and you start having more and more of the percentage of your total focus being focused on the rules, the system, and that's when you can start to stop feeling as much creative satisfaction, because the system is just a tool to get the creativity, to get the story going. It's just a tool to help the storytelling. But the more you focus on the tools themselves, the more you focus on the hammer, the less you're going to see the house that's being built. You're not going to be excited about the hammer and the nail that you're trying to hit on right now. What you're going to be excited about is about the great building, the great cathedral that you're creating. So what happens is a lot of people, I believe, and I'm guilty of that, start to really focus on the system, and they start to think that maybe the system itself is the reason that that their experience with tabletop RPGs is less exciting than it used to be. And to some extent, it is the fault of the system, but I don't think it's because the system is not good enough. Because remember, your first couple of games, even though the system was not any more perfect than it is right now, you still had a blast. You still had a great experience, but now you stop having a great experience, and now you start to blame it on the system that's still the same system that allowed you to have that great experience a couple of months ago, like, or years ago. Like, how does that even make sense? But I think that we tend to focus on the system so much that we stop that it just becomes the normal thing to us, and we start to believe that the system itself must be the problem, because what else is there that we can work on or modify or replace if it's not the system? So a lot of people, I think, will move on to a phase in their tabletop RPG career that they will want to try to find the right system or the right set of house rules or modifications to rules, because they feel like the right experiences, the good experiences that they used to have, that they want to have, are not here with what they already own. They are out there clearly with the products that someone else created, or the rules that you can create, or the rule books that you can create, or the new set of rules that are going to give you the same excitement that you had when you first got your hands on the rule books that you own, or at least the one that was used for your first game. But guys, if you go down that route, you will never find a rule book that's going to give you exactly the rules you want, or you will never create a set of rules, house rules, that are going to give you an experience that's going to be so satisfying that you will never, that you will forever be satisfied with your creation. If you go down that route of trying to fix the rules or replace them with a new rule book, that's just like chasing the dragon. Like it's never going to give you the experience that you are looking for, because the experience you were looking for has never come out of the rule set. It's always come out of the possibilities, the experience, the excitement that you have in the possibilities and in the storytelling and in the ideas you had. So you don't want to try to focus on changing the rules. Actually, if your game is getting stale or your experience is not as exciting as it used to be, you need to reconnect with your creative side and reconnect with your ability to see all the possibilities, to see all the possible narratives or characters you want to play as, and scenes that you might experience. And focus not while you're playing on how the system is, but focus on imagining the scene, imagining being engaged with the creation that you're all collectively making together as a group. And another thing is that if you look at the psychology of happiness, people who tend to, well, there's two ways to try to achieve feelings of happiness. There's the way of trying to fill your sense of lack with new products, with new experiences. But there's also a much better way, which is to learn to find satisfaction in the things that you already have. And if you always try to find satisfaction in new stuff, you're always going to need new stuff. You're never going to be satisfied because new stuff stops being new quickly. But if you try to find satisfaction in learning to appreciate, to see the positives of the thing that you already have, that you can already do, that you already own, that's when you can find a route to long-term satisfaction and sustainable long-term satisfaction, because you will always, no matter what situation is, you will always have some things with you, some experiences that you can have, that you can find things to appreciate in them. The path to returning to the excitement you had, the satisfaction you had, is to stop looking for it elsewhere, to stop looking to change what you have, but to learn to appreciate what you have, see its positives, and maybe you know house rules that you prefer, and you can use them. There's nothing wrong with that. But trying to replace your system and always modify it, always try to focus on the things that you don't like about your system and try to find solutions to replace them, that's not a recipe to happiness. Because if the greater part of your focus is concerned with things that you don't like about what you have, well, no wonder you're going to be dissatisfied. Conversely, if most of your focus is aimed at the things that you like about what you have, well, obviously you're going to feel good. You're going to be grateful. You're going to be noticing all the great things about what you have. One of the things that a lot of people don't seem to realize is that the people who push the narrative that you need to have the perfect game for every type of experience, the perfect game for you, the perfect game, the perfect game, these tend to be content creators who try to sell you their games. The people who are like, oh yeah, Dungeons and Dragons, it doesn't work. Dungeons and Dragons is a bad game. And then they try to sell you Shadow Dark or whatever other game that they either have friends who work on, or that they work on themselves, or they just want you to adopt as your game of choice or buy for some reason. Like, mostly I feel like this narrative is mostly pushed by people who just want to get your money, or want their friends to get your money for some reason. So yeah, that's my speech about RPG systems. Tell me what you think in the comments. If you have any questions or topics you want me to cover next, let me know in the comments as well. With that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.